The Do This podcast is part of the Win, Make, Give podcast network. In today's episode, Bob Stewart and Chad Hyams sit down with Nicole McAlister. Nicole is a real estate powerhouse based in the Charlotte metro area with over 12 years of experience in the industry. Nicole shares her approach to fostering strong client connections through thoughtful gifting programs and strategic events. Discover tips on leveraging systems and team dynamics to foster both business growth and personal balance. We hope you enjoy this episode of the Do This podcast presented by Brivity.
What was that, Chad?
Do you promise? You said we were going to have some fun. I want to make sure.
All right. Nicole, I made a lofty, I don't think the audience heard that, by the way, Chad. So you could have just kept that to yourself.
That's why I'm calling it out, Bob Stewart.
but now that everybody else is here, what Chad's calling me out for is I said right before we jumped on, let's have some fun. And so Chad's like, you promise? And so now, Nicole, I guess we have to have fun.
I'm in. I'm always down for fun.
Okay, cool. Fantastic. All right. Nicole, do me a favor before we jump in and talk about kind of what you do and what some of your superpowers might be. Can you share with the audience like who you are? Who's Nicole in your own words?
I'm Nicole McAlister, and I have an addiction to winning.
I love it.
It's a good addiction.
Or to not losing, I should say. I have been in the business in the Charlotte metro area for the past 12 years. And like many team operators, I have grown and failed many a time, and am really excited that most recently we got new footing by partnering with Place. But that really stemmed from when we had our baby. I realized I don't want to be selling almost 100 homes, which is my personal production annually, give or take, and growing the team at the same time forever. Like, I would like a better work-life balance. And so I've been on this journey for the past 12 years, basically started with, oh my gosh, I am crushing house sales, but then I'm failing at running the business, or I'm really good at running the business, but then my house sales suffer. And so really working on that balance has been my focus the past 3-4 years. And really that stemmed from my son. So I've got a team here. Recently we've been growing, but before that, we really focused on having a Navy SEALs team. We had 5 to 6 strong agents for the majority of my career. And I slowly burned that because it's really hard to have a Navy SEALs team without a bigger Navy as people transition, as economics change, as laws change. And so we've been navigating that as well, of figuring out, okay, now we need a Navy so we can still have Navy SEALs, but not as our sole focus. And so
I'll be honest, I'm torn between, do we go down like your journey of trying to kind of get the team up to speed to where you have a business now? I'm fascinated by anybody that does 100 transactions personally a year. Like, I almost want to go there. Do you mind? Can we go there for a little bit?
We can go wherever, as long as we're having fun.
Yeah. What? I'll just start there. Like, what?
That's a lot of houses. Let's break that down a little bit, though. Buyer versus seller.
This is my first year where I am more seller than buyer. So year to date this year, I've closed 63. I've got 9 pending personally, separate from the team. And I have 17 active listings with 4 coming soon. And then of course we have like buyers in the pipeline. So first and foremost, I cannot do it without systems and an amazing team. And then secondly, this is the first year. I actually commented to my director of operations last week. I'm like, this is the first year I've had more sellers than buyers. I have 48.5% of my business is sellers this year and 41% buyers, and then the rest referrals from out of state. And it's because we built our business from Sphere and from relationship building. So all of our marketing initiatives are relationship building, not to strangers, but to people who already know, like, and trust us, or are an extension of people who know, like, and trust us. And because of that, we never picked up a heavy listing team because we weren't doing for sale by owners or expireds or the activities that would generate more listings. So we're starting to see our buyer business that was heavy for so long start to really turn into a more balanced business.
You got, I mean, I'm in your Brivity, so I can see, yeah. Everybody wants to have this business, right? You have 34 transactions this year from your SOI, your guys' sphere of influence. That's insane. You guys have 27 from past clients. You guys have 15 from your past clients referring you to somebody. You've got 12 from agents referring into, like, you guys have a big, heavy referral and sphere business. Can you specifically talk about, like, you said your marketing is focused on value add to your sphere. What does that look like versus my marketing being focused on trying to add another person to my database?
We really pour into relationships, and we figured out a way to systemize relationships wherever possible. So something that unique that we do is we have an amazing gifting program. So one of our clients had an Etsy shop where they literally made like tea towels. And so we reached out to them and we said, hey, would you be interested in systemizing your gifts into our database so that we can, as your business grows, I mean, I know every book you read, every training you go to, they're like, you got to keep in touch with your database. The truth of the matter is when you have a database that is my size and you actually know everyone and they're not like, okay, we may have written in online, that is a very difficult task to do because you actually have a personal relationship and you can only scale so much of your time when you are going deep. And so gifting is a way we figured out how to do that. So we're always showing up in people's lives at times. So when I'm scrolling online, if I see someone had a new pet, a pet pass away, a new job, a baby, a passing away in their family, we have a gifting program that is automatic where our gifting girls send out a gift on our behalf with a handwritten note, and it's very systemized. It takes me 3 seconds. And then I'm showing up in these different places at different times, which keeps the relationship going. And it's not a form of, hey, are you looking to buy, sell, or invest? It's a form of, I want to be there for you in all the chapters of your life. And while I cannot physically be in front of you all the time, I am thinking about you. And this gift beyond a card shows that.
Isn't this the second? This is the second person we've talked to recently who's talked about having a great gifting program. I don't remember who it was a few episodes ago that talked about having a great gifting program. So, folks, there's value to this, right? What we're hearing from Nicole is it's not always being in your face. Who do you know looking to buy, sell, invest in real estate? It's just being top of mind, because if you already have a relationship, they already will make the connection. You're a realtor. They just need to keep you top of mind. And by sending these gifts, not only do you pop up, not only will they see these gifts again, except Nicole, I got to ask, what do you send someone who lost someone? I mean, that doesn't sound like a gift opportunity. It's like, congratulations on, that uncle passing away.
Yeah.
What are you sending in that situation?
Great question. We send wind chimes. When my dad passed away, someone sent me wind chimes. People send flowers and cards and all the things, and flowers die, the cards get shoved in a binder or thrown away. And when I got these wind chimes, I have since moved to several locations. They get put up everywhere I go. And it was just the most impactful gift because it had my dad's name on it. And it was just like in loving memory of. And when I first put them up, every time I heard them, I was emotional. But as time passed,
I'm emotional listening to your story.
We have those for our dog. Someone gave us that when our dog passed away, and I wasn't even thinking what a great gift that could be for others, because every time they go off, my wife's like, oh, puppy saying hi, right?
And that's what I think. I'm like, what's up, Dennis? Like, I literally think, I'm just like, oh, he's here with me today. And I can hear him, and I always have it close to my office because that's where I spend the most time. So I can always hear from my office going off. And so we send wind chimes.
I mean, that's incredibly thoughtful. Do you guys have something like, do you have a gift like that for the different lanes?
Everything. Wow. And the team, because we're so big on, we do client events, of course, but the team, we created this gifting program with our vendor, and the team can order the same gifts that we've curated and priced and negotiated to be very affordable and very hands-off. And then they get an invoice at the end of the month. So let's say Bob was on my team and he had 4 people in his sphere get pregnant, have a surgery, etc., he would type their name and address into the spreadsheet and it automatically gets sent a gift on his behalf with his name signed. And then he would get that invoice because it was his sphere. But then as a team, we send a 6-month closing anniversary gift because yeah, you want to walk away from closing with something, but really there's nothing you're getting that day better than your either net proceeds or the house you're buying. And you've got a million things going on. So we bring a candle. We used to bring champagne, but as we're getting away from alcohol-based gifting and events, we now have a candle that we bring to closing day, same gifting company. So they just make these in bulk, drop them at the office, no problem. And then 6 months later, they get an actual delivery to their house. Happy 6-month closing anniversary. How's it going? Is there a vendor we can recommend? And then every year on their home anniversary, they get a tea towel. And annually, the tea towel changes. So like 2026, everyone gets the same tea towel, but in 2027, they'll get a different, whether it's their 2nd year, 3rd year, 4th year, 5th year. And they get one every
it's like you collecting baseball cards. You could collect tea towels from Nicole.
Yeah. And so they're like, how'd you remember it's our anniversary? I've been meaning to call you. Oh, we're thinking about this. We're thinking about that. Thank you so much for the gift. And they're like $8. Like it's
okay.
not, it's not.
What's the budget, right? What do you, because that's what everybody here is thinking. They're going, oh, that's great, but you have all this money and can spend. What are you spending on gifts monthly or annually?
It ranges because it is based on closing dates for the bulk of the orders. We'll spend between $2,500 and $4,000 a month on gifting. That is our marketing spend. We're not buying online ads. We're not paying for leads. We're not doing billboards. We're not doing mailers unless someone is specifically farming their personal neighborhood and there's a plan. It is our marketing spend. And every time I talk to my CPA, he's like, this is the biggest return on investment for marketing that I have ever seen because people they're like, oh, my ads, this is what I'm spending money on, or, oh, I'm doing this. And by the way, it takes like no time, which is most important.
I mean, this has always baffled me in many ways. I've seen a lot of P&Ls on teams. I can't tell you how many teams do it the way you just described not to do it, or kind of the opposite of you, right? Which is I spend $2,500 a month on Zillow leads, on pay-per-click leads. And when you look at like NAR's breakdown of where all the business comes from, 66% of the business comes from these places that you're spending money. Comes from our sphere, comes from our past clients, comes from referrals from those people.
We talked to a gentleman yesterday on the Win, Make, Give podcast. The episode will drop in a few weeks if you guys want to watch for it, not to give it the plug. He is a top marketing company. And I asked him after you were gone off the recording, I said to him, what should we be looking to spend? And he said, if your budget isn't in the area of $10,000 on marketing a month, you're not looking to grow a business properly. You should be spending 1/3 of income to marketing because that's going to be the biggest return you're going to get on anything. And Nicole's doing it for even cheaper than that.
But marketing to who, I think. And our industry, Nicole, has it upside down. We're constantly marketing to people we don't know. Like almost every real estate P&L I've seen has an outsized amount of budget going to people they don't know versus to people they do know. In fact, your budget towards your sphere consistently month over month is super rare. I got this stupid bug. I'm not having fun over here. This bug is flying around my face right now.
We can't see him.
The fruit fly. Sorry, Nicole. But
we're having fun with you with the bug. Yeah, right. Works.
They spend the money on people we don't know, and you are doing it the right way. I think
into relationships. It's like, I'm not looking for a lead. I'm looking for a relationship. Like a lead is going to get me one sale, but I learned my first transaction, like that sale can come and go. It can get terminated at any point. It can be like the person I want to fire. It can like any of the things. But if I have a relationship with someone and they know, like, and trust us, like that just goes so much further.
Okay. So you're sending gifts. They're getting, if they've bought with you, they're getting the tea towel every year on their anniversary. If they have something happen in their life, a death, a birth, a job, something, you have a list of, births are going to get this, new puppy gets this. You know, you've got all that taken care of. What else are you doing to quote unquote market to them? So you mentioned you're doing client appreciation events, which is marketing because I'm spending money doing it. Tell us a little bit about those as well.
So we do 3 to 4 events per year, and that has evolved. When I first started, all of my sphere were young to mid 20s. So we would do tailgates and kegs in a parking lot for the Panthers games.
Yeah, I want to. Can I be in your sphere?
Actually, sorry, that's a far trip, Bob. It's
I'm not 20 anymore. I'm not 20 anymore. I don't.
Not allowed to anymore. But that we don't have the same demographic because they've grown with us and they've referred their parents to us and their siblings that are relocating here. Charlotte's a very generational because people are moving from everywhere to Charlotte. So we get like multi-generational moves from someone in our sphere. So, they've evolved over the years, but the spirit has been the same. How do we piggyback off of something that is already existing so we're not starting from scratch and that people want to do? So this year, our events were strawberry picking in the spring. This event costs less than $7,000. They get to go strawberry picking. They get all the hay rides, the games, the playground, food. There's a DJ. We have 500 people come. So for $7,500, and of course we're sharing that with our vendor partners, and massive. We have photographer, there's drone going out, massive return on that. People ask if they can bring their friends. And if a client is looking and they're looking from out of town, we always use that as a weekend to invite them to come look at properties so they could see the community that they would be buying into with us and how other people, social proof, how other people know, like, and trust us, so they should too. Then we went into our tailgate, which we just did this last Sunday. And then we do pictures with Santa. So people have family Christmas pictures for their Christmas cards. We don't send Christmas cards because they're getting every one from every Tom, Dick, and Harry, but the picture on their card could be the picture that they got for free at our event. We've got the Grinch walking around, cookies, cocoa, some Baileys for the coffee, and it's just a super easy. We've got the same Santa every year. He passes out snowballs to the kids. And
Wait, is he a good Santa? Like, does he have a real beard? Is it his real beard?
Yes. He looks like Santa even non-Christmas.
How can Santa not have a beard? What are you? Santa's busy right now. He's in the North Pole, people.
If my kids were home from school, I would not be saying, is it the real Santa beard? Like, I would not, but they're not here. I know how much we pay for our Santa photos, and we have like a really good Santa. If you have a really good Santa and you're doing free Santa photos, like, you're saving your sphere tens of thousands of dollars that they would have been out. And most of them, by the way, probably wouldn't have been able to get a stupid appointment because the good Santas book up.
Yeah.
They book up. Like, these are things they didn't teach us when we didn't have kids. I didn't know you had to book your Santa appointment 5 months in advance.
That's because Santa's real. He's busy. Okay.
I got a text from my friend yesterday, and she's like, there's 8 slots for family fall pictures, and there's 14 people who want them. First come, first serve. And I was like, that's the fastest text I've ever responded to. I'm like, I'm in, I booked.
Now I know how to get Bob to answer quicker. I'll open all my texts with, this is your Santa asking. He'll pay attention. Okay, so gifts, right? Events. And folks, this is going to lead you to developing relationships. So we could talk about this the whole time. Yet I think we should also, Bob, look at the other side of the coin that you wanted to kind of talk about at the beginning where you're like, I don't know where to go first. Let's go second. You've leveraged. Mm-hmm. And this is something that agents need to learn, whether that's leverage on, okay, I'm not picking an individual gift for every person. It's wind chimes. Here's the wind chime manufacturer. It's wind chimes they're going to get. Where else has leverage really shown up to allow you to scale your business? And yes, obviously that'll include team members. Yet let's talk leverage for a little bit, because it sounds like that's where your focus has shifted to, so that you can have more time with the family and not be out running around selling houses all day long yourself.
Real quick before you answer that, I think it's worth noting that you really perfected that system before you moved on and started focusing on leverage as a system. Like, you dialed that gifting system in, it sounds like.
Yes. And because we did, their company has now shifted to only working with realtors. So like I'm in Metrics Masterminds, and they're now doing gifting programs for some of those.
Give them a plug.
Even if they're not in the Carolinas.
Give the company a plug.
Give them a plug here real quick. Who is it?
Oh, yeah. KC Customs. I'd be happy to provide their contact information.
Awesome. KC Customs. There it is.
Customs. And their whole program is now our program, but duplicated for other realtors.
Wow. So Angela Garcia, you don't even have to figure this out yourself. Just go look up Casey
Call
Customs.
them and I can
say, I want to be Nicole.
So give me the Nicole McAlister package, please.
Yeah.
Love it.
And they'll know. They're like, cool, that's everything we have. And I think one thing is when you first start seeing success in this business, I think that it's easy to get that nobody can do it like I can. I can't let go because nobody's going to love on my clients as much as I am. No one's going to show the house as good as I can. No one's going to see all the things that I see. And I think as time progresses, that ego starts to die down and your practicality sits in and you're like, I can either live in hustle culture 24/7, or I can have bigger results with less hustle by just releasing control. And what has allowed me to leverage is putting systems into place to do that so that I feel confident that the system is 80% and the human is 20%. So if I can just train my people, not every position, but most of the positions, if I can just train my people to makeshift the 20% decisions, the systems should take care of the rest. And that allows me to feel good about leveraging because I'm like, hey, I know it's a system we worked on together. We have multiple brains coming at it. What are we missing? What makes sense? And truly, our whole business is based on leverage, not just positions, but from start to finish, everything we do. We're like, how do we do this easier?
It's having the systems so that you can provide the right. I mean, Zappos is known as the best one of the best customer service companies that's out there. But you can be sure, Tony Shea, I think it was, right? He's not taking every call. Heck, he's not taking any calls. He has a system that the people follow when they answer the calls, which therefore brings great customer service. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Was it the systems that you were then able to plug the people into, or the people and you said, I need a system here to make things smoother, easier, and less for them?
I think for the most part, the people came first in my specific scenario because I did what every team owner does when they start 12 years ago, which is what we were taught, which was hire more people, find buyer agents. You just take listings. Like that's what that was like the culture 12 years ago. Now it's kind of like, okay, where can you cut something? So because of when I hired, I would say the people came first. And I've had my director of operations and my transaction coordinator, that's stateside. He negotiates repairs, highly skilled. They've been with me for 11 years. So like, we don't have a lot of staff turnover, and we were lean for a long time. And we were doing 200 transactions with 2 staff members, and we do a deep dive into leverage for the agents. Like, our agents are basically tasked with go out and build relationships, do open houses. That's it.
Which is like those are the revenue producing activities they should be focused on.
Yeah.
And you guys take everything else off of their plate on the backside.
Everything. Like, when it's time to update our email signatures, we have a weekly newsletter because we leverage for our team too. So we have a weekly newsletter that goes out every Monday. It's called Momentum Monday. And it's our internal what's happening, because we would be shooting off random, this has changed in an email throughout the week. And it's like, how can I possibly expect the team to time block and follow their time blocks if I'm the one that's sending them squirrels, or my staff is sending squirrels? They're like, hey, FYI, we're having a client event. So now all of the company updates, anything, congratulations on closings, who put something under contract, what's the team schedule that week, where are the links to the meetings, what's happening. It's all in there. So they know every Monday, like, this is where I'm getting my updates from. And that is a system and a leverage tool that gets them on task and on purpose, because they're not getting distracted by things happening throughout the week. They know they're going to get it. Hey, don't forget to sign up for your open houses. Here's the link to do that. All those things happen at one time. So even
that's got to be an aha for somebody in this room, Nicole. Like, oh crap, I do that to my people. I've been, not that Ben would kind of call it pooping in their kitchen, right? You're just like, hey, I know you're in a real flow right here on your lead gen today, but hey, look it over here. Like, that's so good.
Because you send it when you're thinking about it. And we used to do the same thing, but then they'd be like, well, I'm working on this. And I'm like, why are you working on that? You should literally be out meeting people. But it's because I sent it to them. And so they're like, boom. And so we try to do the same thing with our staff. It is a system and a leverage piece. We're like, okay, we don't send emails to each other anymore in our organization unless it is time sensitive or client related. It's like that saves for the meeting. Don't send me a what do you think about this? Because like I'm not time blocked to think about that. And if you don't need it right now, then I cannot give it to you. So just putting things like that in place and simplifying, it doesn't have to be on fire all the time. It truly doesn't. And if we can just kind of consolidate here and there and then use the auto plans and Brivity save our life. I mean, it's like, if someone's out for the day, what is supposed to be done and how to do it because it's on their dashboard. So it really using the systems that we have both internally, like a Momentum Monday or like a gifting, and then externally through technology like Brivity, like we're kind of covering all the bases there.
Man, it doesn't surprise me that your brain thinks this way because most people don't get to 100 transactions. And by the way, you didn't get there by yourself. You had the people behind you to get you there, but you were the agent out kind of facing the consumer on those 100 transactions by yourself, which is insane to me. But that requires a certain amount of organization, systematic thinking in itself, right? So it doesn't surprise me that you kind of apply that same thing to the, building the team out and trying to make them more streamlined. I'm still blown away. Any human that does 100, you, Ryan Hansen, like these people, I just don't get it.
Bob, I'm over here thinking, wondering, guessing what Nicole's gift is for, webinar hosts that put it. I'm just wondering what to.
We've sent Bob a gift before.
What? It's got to be a hat.
Two gifts. We sent him one time he was on a webinar and his hands were cold. He's like, my hands are freezing. So we sent him hand warmers.
I got the electric hand warmers. That's right. My kids stole them from me, Nicole. My boys use them all winter. They take them to school in their pocket, and then they come home and they charge them on my computer.
All right, here's Nicole's takeaway. Brand them because Bob didn't have the connection that they were Nicole and you.
That was a very one-off. That was a very
one-off.
But it was super thoughtful, right? I had made a comment that day. I'm like, I'm freezing here. I think I had a blanket over my knees or something. That's right.
And then when we first joined Brivity, which was well before Plays, Bob took the time, which I realized it is part of his job, but like we just appreciated. He took the time to sit down with our team alone to go over like, these are the things you need to be doing. This is how Brivity Day in the Life works so that they could get real-time communication. So we sent him like a Carolina barbecue package because that's people always do barbecue. And
I do. You did. I'm so sorry that I didn't connect those things.
A referral.
But I'm not in your sphere. I don't have any question that if she thought I might one day move to Charlotte, I would have remembered where those things came from. That's so good, though. Holy cow! Folks, thoughtful too.
Gifts.
Thoughtful,
right? That's thoughtful. Like you're saying, it's hearing what's going on. Sometimes the system has to be specific. The baby gift, the dog gift, whatever that is, because it happens in scale. Yet take that lesson right there. Even a joke here at the end of it. Nicole's being thoughtful, and she's always listening for those opportunities to provide that gift, right? To be able to say, this is somebody that has brought me multiple referrals, and here I am hearing them saying something. Ooh, I can send them a new hat. I can send them those hand warmers. I can send them the barbecue grill set, whatever it could be.
Yeah. And I've trained my team to do that. So if I'm out, once a year, we try to do a cruise. If I'm out of office, I'll get an email randomly and I log back on and it's like, you've made a donation to the Susan G. Komen Foundation. And I'm like, I literally am in the middle of the ocean. I didn't, but I know that that's my team who received a request from a client. And they knew that it's not even a question when you have an opportunity to serve, when you have an opportunity to give, you do it so that they remember, you're the person who shows up. And then when they need something, my superpower is I connect people. So if they need anything, not just specific to real estate, they're thinking of us. Someone texted me the other day. They're like, I wish I had your decorating skills. I need my corporate office decorated. I'm like, oh, don't worry. Here's this such and such's contact. I'd love to help you. And here's some Pinterest ideas for you in the meantime. And it took me 3 minutes.
Brilliant.
So good. So good. The other thing that when you first started talking about, you said, I'm scrolling and I see that they had this. Like, it actually turns scrolling on social media into a business opportunity for you guys, because you're trained. Like, I don't have any question now, you and your agents are trained that you're not just scrolling, like you're scrolling to look for some way you can connect with somebody through a very simple gift. And you have the system, because all I got to do is jump over and add their name to the spreadsheet, and off the gift goes in on my behalf. It's so good.
I call it scrolling with a purpose. It's like, if you're going to be looking, like, have a reason behind it.
Nicole McAlister, thank you so much for this half hour. I know that it's super valuable. You've got a sick child at home. You've got a massive business. You've got a team. You've got all these clients that rely on you to help connect them in the community. You're amazing. Thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Chad, I'll see you next week. Nicole.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Have a great weekend. Bye, everybody.